sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com. It's Saturday, September 12th, 2020. It's my favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. It is College Football Saturday. Of course, College Football Saturday is here, and of course, I'm Mitch. I'm here with the Puck Dogs, Rod Zawacki, Chris Ruffalo, and Brian Bittler will also be with us for today's show. We're going to cover all the college football action. We've got the NBA Conference semifinal still battling it out tonight with the Lakers and Rockets. We got NHL action with Vegas and Dallas, and of course, a full Major League Baseball card. And you guys know, when you get to this time of year, when there's football on Saturdays and Sundays, that's when you find the best value on the baseball games. Because on an NFL Sunday, baseball is absolutely ignored in the sports books. And that is the time where you can creep up and grab some of the best lines. So not the time to ignore baseball. It's actually the time to really dial in and find those few games where there's just some tremendous value out there. And I think there are a few out there, at least what I found. And like I said, you guys know college football is my game. I am excited about it. It's kind of like, the Puck Dogs. I didn't know anything about hockey. I found, the Puck Dogs, and they came on, and they never left. But, that's fine. I love having them here. But I started my time online, typed into Google, how do you start a website? And I started writing about college football. And that's all I covered was college football. And I grew up. The reason why I'm here today, the reason I love sports is because of college football. I grew up in a state where the number one sport is college football. The number two sport is college football, and the number three sport is college football, then NFL football, then high school football, then everything else. So I am really, really excited about it. I know everybody has a little different upbringing. I know the Canada guys, they grew up with hockey and stuff, and Brian, Northeastern guy, not exactly in the center of it all, but they certainly have some teams there as well. We're going to bring in the guys, Brian Bittler and the Puck Dogs. I know this is probably like, the day that, the Stanley Cup Finals for you guys or like something like that, but for me, college football season is kind of like, this is life. This is how I grew up. My friends from home that I haven't talked to all year long. It's like we're on, Thursday night when the Canes are on. It's like, everyone's like ready for the Canes. It's like everyone texts each other, got some Canes over here. Like I was saying, like the chant, and everyone's texting it to each other. Like all my friends I haven't talked to them forever from Miami. And it is a culture. It's a way of life. And, college football is a different game. And the college football fan is a different type of fan than any other type of fan out there. And everyone say, yeah, your fan base, and every fan base says this, and every fan base says this. But I think everyone will agree the college football fan is a different breed than every other fan out there, because when you have a poll system, and not a true playoff system where you earn your way into a playoff, where the playoff is decided by something other than your record, something other than what happened on the field, something other than a playoff game, well, every game is the national championship game. And that is the difference between college football and every other sport. Is that good? Probably not. But you know what? It is what it is, and that's what the cards that we're dealt right now, and that's what we're going to be playing. Chris, good morning. How are you? I know you got NHL today as well. What do you got in store, and how are things going for you with your premium picks? And, when I stopped covering the free picks, writing the free picks at Sports Chat Place, I was always the SEC guy because I couldn't cover the ACC because my team was in it, right? So it's like I was the SEC guy all the way back, and Chris took over my SEC stuff. And, the SEC doesn't start for a couple weeks. But, now you hear the Big Ten saying, oh, we want to play. It's like, you could have played, you could have played. It's like, it was the best response. We've seen some of the, out of all this COVID and everything, some of the best things that we've ever seen is Dabo Swinney basically saying to the Big Ten, if we win the national championship, we're putting the trophy in our trophy case, and we don't care what you guys think because you're not really relevant anyway in the college football space. It was like, when's the last, it's like, you guys really, no one really cares. And I think that was the first time, it's the first time that we've seen where the rest of the college football world has said to the Big Ten and to the Pac-12, and we don't care about you guys. You guys don't really matter. in the college football landscape. You're not in the South. You don't matter. Chris, I'll give you a chance to speak. Go ahead.
That statement's one of those things where it's like, it's what we're all thinking, but nobody's the one that's going to say it until somebody actually says it. But no, I'm pumped for today. I'm really excited to get the college football season really underway. I know we had week 1, but this is where everything really starts to pick up. I'm excited beyond belief for today's card.
Awesome. What do you got in store for your premium picks for today? You got anything out there in college football?
That I do. I have a Shotgun Saturday 5-pack. It'll get you from the afternoon games all the way up until the evening games tonight. Also got 5 MLB, or you can get my Stack Saturday package. You get all 10 games covered in one place for $39.95 over at the website.
How about you, Brian? College football Saturday. I know you're a Northeast guy. That usually means an NFL guy, and that's okay, But NFL fans a little different than college football fans, of course. I would say that they're not always the same people. I would say that for sure. But the thing is that in Pennsylvania they have Penn State, they have Pitt. And those are two traditionally good programs. Pennsylvania, I'd say, of the northeastern states, probably the one that is more college football based than any of the others. And that's because Pennsylvania high school football is so good.
Yeah, I don't know about Big Ten being irrelevant because Ohio State, Penn State could give a lot of those teams runs for their money.
But they don't. But they don't. That's the whole thing. They could, but they don't. When's the last time they were relevant? Up until this past year, when Ohio State and Clemson went at it in the playoff game, the Big Ten hadn't scored a point in a playoff game in 3 appearances. They hadn't scored 1 point.
Well,
how is that relevant?
I'm not a Big Ten guy, but
how is that relevant?
Ohio State, Penn State being, teams that. I guess it all depends on their competition. Nobody's going to compete with the SEC with Alabama, Auburn, and
it's cyclical.
LSU.
It's cyclical. It's cyclical. The conference dominance is cyclical. It's shown throughout time that it's cyclical. The SEC has dominated before. 10 years ago, it was like no one could battle USC. 10 years before that, no one could battle Florida State. 10 years before that, no one could battle Miami. It's cyclical in college football. Because it's recruiting and there's a lot more to it than coaches stay in college football teams for a very long time at big programs. Players you can't they talk about reloading, right? They talk about reloading in college football, but it's not a real thing. Because what happens is eventually your depth gets depleted. We saw that a few years ago, and we've seen it a few times now with Alabama, who, Nick Saban is one of the great coaches of all time, but not even he can create depth on a team where your players are leaving for the NFL every single season. All your guys are leaving early, and what ends up happening is Deshaun Watson's dragging you up and down the field and making you look stupid in the fourth quarter because all your guys are sucking wind because you have no depth. And we've seen that twice out of Alabama in their last 3 championship appearances where Clemson wiped the floor with them. But that's just what you see there. But the SEC has they had a time where they couldn't hang with everybody else. It's cyclical. It's absolutely cyclical. And if you look at the last 4 or 5 national championships, the ACC has won the most. It's been Clemson. Clemson has been the most dominant team of the last 5 years and the last 10 years, not Alabama. That's
no question.
They beat them. They beat them head up. They beat them head up twice, and one of them was a beatdown. One of them was an epic. The one that Alabama beat Clemson twice. Clemson beat Alabama twice. The one that Alabama beat Clemson was a nail biter. Clemson beat Alabama in one nail biter. But the only one real beatdown game was the Clemson beatdown of Alabama. It was a fight, they would have stopped it. Anyways. I'm just saying that college football is cyclical. It always has been. What was once doesn't mean that, doesn't mean it's forever. And I do believe that the ACC has a ton of talent. And I think the Big 12 has some of the best coaches out there too. So, I mean, it's a possibility, the Pac-12 and Big 10 might be irrelevant, but, that is what it is. Especially, that's why they didn't bother to show up this year, which, sometimes you sit there and you watch like Ohio State getting shellacked in a playoff game, or remember Michigan State, the what was his name? Connor Cook. Cook. Oh man, they put him in a playoff game. It was like, why bother showing up? So this year the Big Ten, they just said, you're right. Why bother showing up? And they just didn't. It's like, we got an out. We're not going to play against these guys. We don't have to go to Oregon to play the Ducks. We're out. We got an out. And you know what? Because we're the Big Ten, everyone else is going to do it too. Everyone's like, yeah, we're not giving you any of the money from TV. How does that sound? That's what they did. They said, you get nothing. And basically everyone just pretty much said, what everyone's been thinking all along. Anyways, what do you got for sale today, Brian? Anything?
I tell you what, I might not be the biggest college football fan, but I'm a fan of money. Last year, many sites, #1 college football handicapper, 92-70, 57%. I got my ACC game of the week, goes off at 12 noon. Best deal right now is $79, 3-day pass. You get my college football, NFL, all my Major League Baseball today. Tons of value. Go get it.
And you'll get Monday Night Football. 2 games on Monday night.
Tons of value. You get so many picks.
Two games on Monday night.
And I love the NFL card today. I think we're all in agreement there, the NFL card.
Yeah, we don't usually agree on much, but I think we're all in agreement on those NFL games. Rod, how about you? You got NHL playoffs tonight. You got NBA playoffs. I know your Raptors let you down a little bit last night. I think not having Kawhi Leonard, kind of finally really reared its ugly head last night because they needed one more guy. They were kind of gassed.
They needed their one guy, and they needed Siakam to pick it up. And
he's not Kawhi.
He's progressed. He's not there yet.
No,
he's not there to be that guy yet.
He's not going to be that guy. He's not going to be.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he's ever going to be that guy that they're talking him up to be. But
it's like you can't lose. You can't lose a Kawhi Leonard, and you can still be a great team. You can still have a coach that can coach you into that spot. But it's like when push comes to shove, you're going to need to have those guys. And I think the Raptors had a great season. Great season.
They did. They had a great year. They did pretty good for no Kawhi. A lot of people didn't even expect them to get that far.
No, most people did not expect them to go that far. So what do you got for sale today at the premium?
So for me today, I got a Super College Football Saturday birdcage. You can buy that singly. And then I got 5 MLB. Plus my 1 hockey in a separate package, or you can buy it all together in a Super Saturday Pass for $34.99. Get all my selections today.
That's a strong deal. I have college football. I have 6 picks, 3 early, 3 late, or you can buy them all together as 1 6-pack. I divided them up 3 and 3 for a cheaper price, or all together a little bit more, or you can get my 3-day pass. I also have a 2+1, 2 baseball. Like I said, this is where baseball kind of slips through the cracks today and tomorrow and going forward the next few weeks, where very few people, so the lines aren't moving crazy and you're not seeing these ridiculous run lines. Going to be some big value in baseball today. So I have 2 baseball with the 1 NBA. I really think the best deal for me is you buy, like Brian said, you get the 3-day pack instead of $30 here and $20. It's like $60 and you get 3 days worth, NFL, college, whatever. You get the whole 9 yards. But some people only want college football, some people only want NFL, and I understand and respect that, and that's why we do it in all these different ways. But speaking about doing all these different ways, man, we're 13 minutes in with a giant card. We haven't given out 1 pick. We got the NBA tonight, Chris. LeBron James and AD look to close it out. These guys love rest, man. They love the rest. So they can get a couple days rest if they can do this. It looks like the Celtics Heat start on Tuesday, right? So
I believe so.
So it's like, I believe, these conference series, conference finals will go one after the other, every other night. So I'm going to guess it will start on Wednesday, the Western, come hell or high water, either way, whether these series are closed out, in the next couple days, or whether they're closed out Monday, they're going to start on Wednesday. And so Lakers had a chance to close it out tonight against the Rockets. Obviously, House is not in there. He's The Rockets need everybody. They can't afford to be missing any little pieces here. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I like the over here. I think Houston's going to try to put up enough threes to keep themselves in this game, and I think the Lakers are going to want to put up enough points to just say, you know what, it's not going to matter. So give me the over, 216 here.
How about you, Brian?
I'm going to ride with the over here. I have been liking the under in this series with the Lakers playing good defense, but and this being an elimination game for the Rockets, I'm still going to say it goes over the total. Take the over. I agree with Chris.
How about you, Rod?
Take the Lakers. This series is done.
All right. Pretty much to the point and matter of fact. So we could either bring Jeter in now or we could wait till after college football. It's up to you. Chris, what do you think?
I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral. Do whatever you guys want. I'm good.
It's your call. It's up to you.
Let's bring Jeter in now.
All right. We're going to bring Jeter in, and I will we'll trade some paint, and then we'll come back. We'll do college football and then Major League Baseball and hockey. Morning, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing out there?
Good. I know you live in SEC country. You guys, I know, are excited about college football. Kind of like me. You know, it's like you might be a NASCAR fan, but in Tennessee, I'm going to guess it goes college football, NASCAR, college football, pro football, and everything else.
Yeah, we got the Titans too, so tighten up. But hey, it's
but the Titans are never going to be what the Vols are. Never. They'll never. I mean, it's like Vols, Titans, right? It's not even in the same. It's not even. It's not even the same thing. It's kind of
just big orange country. Be ready to go in 2 weeks, but. Hey, we've got some ton of action today in college and got some NASCAR as well, so I'm ready to roll, man.
What do we got? We got Xfinity racing first. That one has, a 2 p.m. Eastern time start?
Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern time start. This will be the second of a doubleheader for the Xfinity Series, and it'll be the final doubleheader of the year for the Xfinity Series. And the Virginia is for racing lovers 250. At Richmond, that'll be a 250-lap race this afternoon, going 187.5 miles. Of course, today it should be a little bit different because they're racing during the day. They obviously raced at night last night, so the track conditions are going to be obviously a lot different. The track temperature is going to be a lot warmer. So, but today, as far as Xfinity goes, I hate to go with the chalk on it, but I like Austin Cindric as the favorite, plus 200 as an outright today. We've seen him win on these doubleheader weekends. We've seen him win the second race 2 times. He had a fast car last night, finished 4th. He was kind of pretty much second in overall speed. So, and he's got a pretty decent starting position today. So I don't mind that call on Cindric at plus 200 today. Kyle Busch will not be racing today, so we're not to worry about a Cup favorite. No Cup Series guys are in this race today. So. But anyway, other than that, the only other pick I had right away for Xfinity is I'm going to go back to the Ross Chastain in the top 3 finishing position today at plus 150. He finished 5th last night. Had a really good car, starting up towards the front. Kind of faded there towards the end as had that long green flag run. As Allgaier won, he won it on 73 lap tires. So. Richmond's kind of coming now where it's wearing out a little more, so tire wear seems to be up a little bit. So we'll carry that over going into today. And then, of course, next up, we've got the big boys running in prime time tonight at 7:30, the NASCAR Cup Series, Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond. This will be the second of 3 races here in the first round of the playoffs. And a couple of guys got their backs up against the wall there, Mitch.
So, the back to the first race, the Xfinity, plus 200 on Ross Chastain. So how many guys are in the race, that you're getting only 2-1 on your money? So I'm just trying to do it from a mathematical handicapping way, which is, I know, not 100%, foolproof. That's I proved time and time again. I did have the Blue Jays yesterday against the Mets, but
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm just trying to figure out what my risk reward is here, because plus 200, and I know there's normally about 30 guys in these races. So I'm getting, I basically the real life multiple here is 6%, and I'm getting 2-1 on my money on 6%. It's kind of, I'm very far away from the 50-50 I need to be to get 2-1 on my money.
Right. Well, I mean, if what is your mind on it, keep in mind a lot of the, let's say 35 cars or 36 cars that'll start today's event. There's probably about 10 to maybe a dozen that have a legitimate shot at winning the race outside of something just going absolutely crazy, just because of the amount of money put into those top tier teams. So, taking that in the Xfinity Series, I don't mind it. And if it was the Cup Series, I would not take that particular outright bet at that price. So just to kind of clarify that. So,
all right, let's go to the Cup Series, and what do we have on tap? So, obviously not a SEC college football day, so I'm going to guess there's going to be people still dialed in on NASCAR here. So, what do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, we're heading to Denny Hamlin's home track tonight. He's part of, depending on what book you look at, co-favorite or just back behind it, but I'm finding him at plus 480. Don't mind that call tonight. This is probably Denny's best chance to get a win here in this first round of the playoffs. Just real quick, Denny's he has the most top 5 finishes of the last 6 races here at Richmond with 5, and he'll start the race tonight in 7th position. So I think he's got a legit shot to win tonight. Definitely take a gander at it. Another one wrote up on the website. I like William Byron. This is a head-to-head matchup. I like William Byron at even money over Alex Bowman, who's priced at minus 130. I think this is kind of a misprice. I thought this matchup should have been a little more evenly matched. And if you look at this track, they've gone 2-2 over the last 4 races at Richmond. That means they've split, or each one of them's finished ahead of one another each time, or over the last 4 races. And also, I think it was like Bowman finished better than Byron at Martinsville earlier this season in June, but Byron came back at Phoenix. But I'm going to take a shot at even money on Byron. I think that coming off that win a couple weeks ago at Daytona, they're just rolling with some great momentum right now, and I think Byron can finish ahead of his teammate Alex Bowman here at Richmond this evening. So,
all right. Well, Jeff Jeter here trading some paint, talking some NASCAR. We got to cut him a little bit short today. But, Jeff, you got anything in the premium area for sale today before we get back? Because we got college football games starting in a hurry, so they get a little antsy.
Yeah, definitely. I've got your college football. I've got my NASCAR 3-wide pass for today. It covers all of the picks, my premium picks for Xfinity and the Cup Series. And I've got you a 3-pack of Major League Baseball picks over there on the website. And I've got a 5-pack of college football. So other than that, glad college football's here. And, good luck today, guys.
What do you think about the Big Ten? Who?
Hey, we got plenty of room for Big Ten fans to come on down here to SEC country for some football right now. So come on and join us.
Yeah, we got plenty of room to say we got plenty of good teams without these guys. I say we got plenty of room on our rosters for all those Big Ten athletes that were pilfered from our states, right? And litter their rosters. All right, thanks, Jeff, for joining us. I'm going to bring the guys back in. We're going to start with the college football schedule and get it going. Chris, Brian, off camera here. Chris, we got Kansas State and Arkansas State kicking it off here. Kansas State now up to 14-point favorite. We got a 4-point line movement here. Returning quarterback, returning ton of everything. Arkansas State, though, with the game under their belt. What do you think?
Yeah, they did get the game.
Cannot hear you. Brian, what do you think here?
Kansas State, as quick as possible, get that line as good as you can get it. I liked it a lot at 13.5. Now at 14, it loses a little luster.
How about you, Rod?
I agree with Brian. Give me Kansas State there. They're 4-1 ATS their last 5. non-conference games. Wildcats are 6-2 in their last game. ATS, their last 8 games overall. I like the Wildcats here.
Chris, you back with us?
You guys hear me?
No. All right, we'll come back to you. We got Iowa State against Louisiana Lafayette. They just call them Lafayette now, which I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about. We'll go the other way around, and maybe Chris will be ready for us. Rod, what are you thinking here? Iowa State and ULL. I think this is a pretty interesting one. The line here has moved from 10.5 to 11.5, but the total down to 56.5. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly from this Iowa State team. I think the expectation with Campbell there, coaching Matt Campbell, is a little bit higher than what I saw on the field last year from Iowa State.
For me, I'm going to go with Iowa State here. I think they can get the job done and get the cover.
How about you?
The Cyclones performed well last year, offensively. I think they can get the job done here.
How about you? How about you, Brian?
I'll tell you what, I like the under here. I think Iowa State plays some good defense here, and UL Monroe is really going to struggle to score. Raging Cajuns just don't have enough in the tank.
This is Lafayette, not Monroe. Different team.
ULL, Raging Cajuns.
Right. You said Monroe.
Well, I was just trying to get it out quick.
Chris, you back with us?
Am I better now?
Yes, you are better. Kansas State, Arkansas State.
Good. I like Kansas State in a blowout. And for this one, I like Louisiana. They're bringing back a ton of production. Elijah Mitchell at quarterback, Trey Ragus at running back, Levi Lewis as well. I love the Cajuns today.
Easy money. I'm with you. Syracuse against North Carolina. This is a lot of people talking about this one. Syracuse so bad last year. It is the worst Dino Babers team I've ever seen. I will go off and say that. I mean, they just had no answers defensively and less answers offensively. If Babers doesn't have a quarterback that can run his system, he's lost. And, he's not a defensive guy, right? I mean, that's not his thing. So, Mac Brown, always one of the best recruiters, out there. This guy works the living room like no one's business. And this is the difference between college sports and pro sports. And with something like college basketball, you might only have 2 or 3 spots available on your whole roster. So, except when you're Calipari and, your starting 5 all goes to the NBA every year. But in college football, it's all about working the living room. And Mac Brown can work the living room like no one's business. He's the guy that brought Julius Peppers to North Carolina many years ago in his first stint. I don't know, man. 3 touchdowns and change? That is a big number for a North Carolina team that fell flat on their face last year, remember? In their opener. So, not a great opener team. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to take a shot with Syracuse here. They're a lot better than what they were last year. I think the offensive line had a chance to get a year under their belts. They're going to protect Tommy DeVito a little bit better. And I think the hype on North Carolina is warranted, but at the end of the year last year, they beat Mercer, they beat NC State, and they beat Temple. I mean, that's not saying very much. So I think Syracuse can hang here. Give me Syracuse.
Also, Mac Brown, not known has never been a run up the score type of guy either. So, that's another piece of the puzzle here. I'm with you on Syracuse. I think DeVito came in really highly touted and was a big disappointment, but I think he has more skill than he had. He didn't have a lot of help last year. Brian?
Look, does Syracuse even play defense? I'm looking for this one to go way over the total. I think we approach around 80 here in this one.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree with Brian. I think we're going to go over the total here. I think we're going to see some points here today.
Yeah, so Sean Atlin's posting some stats here, and I'm sure this was about my comments about who's been in the playoff and who hasn't. But when you look at these, when you see multiple teams in the playoff, it's always the SEC gets the benefit of the doubt because it's not, you don't play your way into the playoff. It's done by selection. So some of the years that they did that, like the year that Alabama got knocked out in the first round, it was like they didn't deserve to be there. So it's like very, very hard to say it that way. I think you go by rings. I think that's the way you pretty much is a good way to look at it. Who's won the most national championships? App State against Charlotte lot of line movement in this one. I'll tell you, Charlotte not getting a lot of respect. I loved App State over the years, but man, this Charlotte team is good, and they are getting zero respect here. This is a bowl team, right? I mean, this is like Charlotte is like a value player's dream. This is like, I mean, if you're going to put like a money line on a giant dog today, this is the spot, you know? I mean, I don't have it. You know, I don't have it as a premium pick, and I might have a couple bucks on the money line here, but this is the spot. Chris, what do you think? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Because App State could easily see App State winning 65-0 too. You know, but it's like I could see Charlotte busting them up here. You know, they're not a slouch team by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, there hasn't been much turnover from that Charlotte team. This was a Charlotte team that hung 41 on the Mountaineers last year, and that was only a one-score game until App State scored that insurance touchdown late. I think Charlotte has definitely a good chance here. I'll take Charlotte with the points. I also like the over 59.5.
In case you guys didn't realize this, I freaking love college football. Brian, what do you think here? Charlotte against, I mean, look how excited I am about Charlotte App State, man.
I don't know. I was just excited. I think Charlotte's my best free pick in college football today. It's something I got in at 17.5. I see it's now down to 17 or lower. I love Charlotte today. Could pull the upset, but I see it being a 14-point game. Take the Niners.
That App State defense was always so tough inside the red zone, you know, and we didn't really see it last year in the bowl games. You know, we saw them like go on the road and beat Lafayette, right? At Lafayette, that was kind of their big thing, that they beat them on the road on a night game. But, you know, this is a little different, you know. This Charlotte team is, you know, the teams that don't get a lot of respect, the chip on the shoulder. Rod, what do you think in here? I think we might have a barn burner here.
I think we're definitely going to see some scoring in this game. I like the over. And I'm leaning to App State here. Mountaineers are 7-1 ATS their last 8 games in September. 8-2 ATS their last 10 non-conference games.
Yeah, but you know, when you look at college,
1-4 ATS their last 5 road games.
When you look at college football trends, those players are like grandfathers now in a lot of the college football trends. I think a lot of the coaches change and players change and offensive coordinators, and a lot changes. If you go by that stuff, Oklahoma's running the wishbone. Anyways, you go to
Mountaineers brought back 2 of their top receivers. Anyways, two of their top.
Oh no! Believe me, I've been on App State. You know, I loved App State. You know, when they were dogs at Tennessee. I loved App State when they were dogs at Michigan. You know, I love them there. 17-point favorites against a bowl team. You know, I'm not as in love with the Mountaineers anymore. But we do have Army against ULM, and I think we got another interesting game here because this one goes from 16 to 22.5 because Army played last week. Okay, I had the other side, right? So I'm not always right. That's for damn sure. I had the other side. Army played a flawless game. Flawless. The odds of them playing another flawless game are 0, okay? 0. There's no way Army could possibly play that well again. There's no way. I mean, how much of a drop-off? It's just a matter of how much of a drop-off they're going to have. ULM's not bad. This is a team that's put points on the board. This is a team that took Florida State all the way down to the last play last year at Doak. I would imagine that the 70% of the public here on Army, 22.5. It's gone from 16 to 22.5. Chris, what we saw from Army last week, fluke, or are we looking for a repeat performance here from the Golden Knights?
I think it was a fluke for the defense, Black Knights. Right? I think it was a fluke for the defense, but I think the offense is going to be legit. ULM doesn't have any lick of defense here, but they can score as well. I look for this one to go over 53.5. I think this is a low total, even with an option offense.
You think like Army though? Don't they? They usually like to use all of the clock. You know, they usually like to use all of it. I guess what you're saying is they'll be able to move the ball on ULM, and that will make up for it. Brian, what do you see here with ULM and Army?
I think if you wanted to bet Army, you should have got in a while ago on this one because anything at 21 or above, I like ULM here. And it's too much public on Army.
very public play, especially, it's the TV game last week when you're the only kid in town, when you're the only game in town, and it's like everybody saw it, so it's not like, it came from nowhere. Rod, what do you think here? Army ULM.
Our Army's going to win this game, but not that cover. I think ULM can get a late touchdown and get us a backdoor cover here.
All right, we got Notre Dame and Duke. Everyone in the world knows, I got 3 teams that I can't bet on, unless I really have to bet on them. And one of those is Notre Dame. I can't stand them personally, so I let that get in the way of everything else. I have no premium pick on this. I have no skin in the game, but I got a couple bucks on Duke money line just to have some action on the game because I think Duke has the much better coach here. Much better. I mean, it's not even apples and orange. It's not even like, oh, well, Brian Kelly's done this. That. No. It is a coaching mismatch for Duke here. That is their chance. Chris, what do you think?
You're going to make me feel foolish now. I'm going to lack vision. I like Notre Dame laying the points. I know David Cutcliffe as an underdog is
the best there is. He is the best in the business.
But I think Notre Dame wants to make a statement early on in their temporary conference, and I think it comes here against Duke. So I'll lay the points with Notre Dame.
How about the Duke athletic department scheduling Alabama and Notre Dame openers in back-to-back years? Brian, what do you think?
I don't know. I think this is a tad bit too many points for the first game in Notre Dame. I just a lot of value with Duke here. I'm not slamming this play, but I'm going to go a little bit with Duke, get the 3 touchdowns.
Cutcliffe is such a good coach, man. So good. It's amazing that he's stays there at Duke. He's had other offers. Rod?
I don't think Duke can score enough points to even hang here with
David Cutcliffe David Cutcliffe offense can't score enough points.
No.
Okay.
I don't think they're good enough to even hang here with Notre Dame. I think we're going to see a blowout.
This guy's one of the best offensive minds in the history of the game. We have Florida State up against Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets plus 13.5. Oh boy, the Noles were so bad they fired the coach again. Boy, I had a team where we had a coach in the NFL that was there forever, right? And it got to be his end of the road, and we ran him out of town. And man, we haven't won since. We had Don Shula, and he wasn't good enough for us anymore. The game had passed him by. The winningest coach in the history of the NFL. It wasn't good enough for us anymore. So we haven't got a whiff of a Super Bowl since. I've been to the playoffs twice. Florida State, they did the same thing to Bobby Bowden. Jimbo Fisher came in, and certainly, Jimbo Fisher always gets a lot of money wherever he goes. That's one thing. This guy has a great agent. And, then comes Willie Taggart, gives up the Oregon job to come back to Florida. You have a season like he had, and you're going to get fired in Tallahassee, that's for sure. So now, new coach again at Florida State, and of course, we're a few years removed from at Georgia Tech now. Second year in as head coach there. So, Georgia Tech had a transitional year last year. They weren't as good, but we know Florida State's loaded with fast athletes. Chris, any chance that Georgia Tech can run with them?
I think so. I think the Yellow Jackets were hampered by, like you said, a transition year, switching from an option offense to a more standard offense under Jeff Collins, and
which is a personnel change. Change.
Yeah, but Jeff Collins is no stranger to pulling off upsets. He did it multiple times at Tulane, and he's done it as a big time dog before. I like Georgia Tech here. I like Georgia Tech getting the points. I think they keep this one close, if not pull off another outright upset.
How about you, Brian?
I'll tell you what, Florida State has been, how the Angels always get me good. The Florida State's got me good over the last couple of years, just not covering spreads. The total in this one, I like it to go under 51. I think it opened at 55. I think we see a good defense from Florida State here. I think it goes under.
How about you, Rod?
I agree with Chris. Georgia Tech covers the points. Give me Georgia Tech in the points here. They're 7-0 ATS, the last 7 versus Florida State here. I think it's closer than the number here.
Got UTSA Roadrunners up against Texas State. We saw Texas State last week. This line dropping like a rock for good reason. I did not put this in as a premium pick, but this is one of those ones where I could have, because I thought the Texas State quarterback, sometimes when quarterbacks transfer to another school and you're kind of like, wow, they got this guy from this school. And it's like, and then you see him out on the field and you're kind of like, now I know why he didn't play at the other school. And I think we saw that at Texas State last week. We got a guy that makes really poor decisions, and normally he starts running in the wrong direction when the defenders are coming at him, is what we saw. And then he also sometimes throws the ball away down the middle of the field. Odd choices. Chris, you think the Roadrunners here, or me and Bittler love inverse line movement, and we've got it here. 35% on the Roadrunners, and the line dropping like a rock.
Yeah, I'm all over UTSA here. Brady McBride, the Texas State quarterback you mentioned. I don't know if there's a comparison to the NFL or to another college quarterback we've seen that can make those kind of poor decisions. But, man, he would have really given Texas State a shot last week to pull it off against SMU had he not done a couple of those things. I like UTSA to make them pay here.
You kind of, sometimes you wonder, it's like, what are they thinking? Brian?
I'll tell you what, when Texas State got me to cover against SMU, when I saw this line at 7 earlier, I jumped all over UTSA. If there's one team that can win with a nice money line cover and just win outright, it's UTSA. I like them today a lot as a free play.
Okay. Rod?
Yeah, I like UTSA as well. Their young runner, McCormick, I think he'll be able to run the ball against an awful run defense. Yeah, give me UTSA.
Got Tulane against South Alabama. South Alabama pulled the upset last week. Really slaughtered Southern Miss, right? But now against Tulane, this line 11, 10.5. I've seen 10s out there before, but now back to 10.5. Chris?
I'm going to take the over here. I mean, you saw Tulane's. They're bringing back a ton of that running back core. I think they got 4 or 5 running backs that can run circles around South Alabama, but they also scored 30 points 9 times last season. So this is going to be a higher scoring game, I have a feeling. So I'll take the over 52.5.
New quarterback, though, at Tulane, right? In this one? But
yeah.
He's a new quarterback, but he has a similar skill set to the other guy. He might actually be better. It's like one of those things. Brian, what do you think here?
No, I'm looking at like a 21-10 type of game. I like the under here. I think it easily cruises under that total. It just seems a little bit high at 52.5, 53.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I agree with Brian. Give me the under. I think that's just a little bit too high.
Got Wake Forest and Clemson. This is interesting, okay, because we got a 34-point line. The line's moved up 2.5 points from 31.5 to 34. But the total hasn't budged. Now, Clemson has been notoriously slow starters in college football, notoriously slow. But they have Lawrence and Etienne back, the key pieces to that offense. And, of course, Dabo Swinney, he's had a top, 3 recruiting class for the last, 10 years now. So, another slow start for Clemson. Obviously, Clawson's team kind of fell apart in the second half of the season last year at Wake. I like Clawson, but we're going to call it what it is. His team kind of self-destructed. They looked good the first half of the season. And in the second half of the season, they were kind of like, they were on the wrong end of some really big scores. What do you think here, Chris?
Yeah, they did. The team of Deacons did self-destruct, and you kind of saw the shrapnel fly away in the offseason. Jamie Newman went to Georgia and opted out. And then, that offense lost their 3 top receivers, Sage Surratt most notably. And I just don't think there's enough coming back for Wake to hang here. I think it goes under the number mainly because I don't think Wake does enough to contribute to the total.
How about you, Brian?
I think if you want to bet this game, you want to wait till around 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight. I think you can get 35 in Wake Forest. And with that many points, I'm going to lean towards Wake.
How about you, Rod?
I think Clemson gets this cover. I think you got Hartman, who's just been thrown into a sink or swim situation. And yeah, as Chris says, no Surratt. He's opted out. Demon Deacons are in trouble. I think Lawrence will just chew through the Demon Deacons secondary here.
I think this is going to be an interesting game, but I think we're going to find out in a hurry. This one could be a cover by halftime, right? It could be a cover by halftime and no one's surprised. Or, we've seen Dabo Swinney teams struggle in the first part of the season. We've seen it. And we've seen normally they have one game a year in the first, and it's normally in the first half of the season where they have to pull it out if they even are able to do it. It was NC State a few years ago, right? I mean, we've seen it every single year.
North Carolina last year.
Texas A&M,
North Carolina last
right?
year, yeah.
It was Texas A&M, was a tough game. I mean, they've had it, yeah. They've had games every single year. I don't know if it's tonight, though, because
I don't think it's tonight, though.
Under the lights. And it's not that far of a road trip either. Got Louisville hosting Western Kentucky. Louisville's got Miami next week. So something to look ahead for. This Western Kentucky team is vastly underrated. Chris, 30% of the people on the Hilltoppers, and the line moving in that same direction with Louisville -11 to -12 now. Total set at 57. Satterfield is a great coach. He's a great. I mean, I'm a Miami guy. I would have been more than thrilled to get this guy. More than thrilled. I think Florida State would have been more than thrilled to get this guy. Also, they have the weird thing about Louisville is they always have a Miami pipeline for talent.
Yeah.
They always have a guy who was an ex-Hurricane player on their coaching staff. That's how Teddy Bridgewater ends up there. That's how all these other guys end up there, because they always have that guy. And then they have one this year, Maurice Crum, on that staff, who is an ex-Hurricane middle linebacker, which they have that pipeline once again to Miami. So they're going to have some speed. What do you think?
I like Louisville here by a couple touchdowns. I think it barely scrapes over that line. I think, Michael Cunningham, Tutu Atwell, they're going to be a huge combo for this Louisville offense this year. And like you said, I like Scott Satterfield too. And Western Kentucky, they're gonna have their moments this year, but I just don't think it's here. I'll lay the points with Louisville.
Well, my NBA record is out on the site. You guys can see it in the premium area. But let's just say we missed 4 or 5 months of games. Kind of made up a lot of it, just a little bit of NBA. Well, how about you, Brian?
I think this will be the most entertaining game on the card today. I think you're going to see a ton of scoring both ways. It's going to be a game that I want to see. So I'm going to take the over here. I think it goes easily over the number.
How about you, Rod?
I'm going to take Western Kentucky here. I think their defense here matches up well against Louisville offense, and I think they can hold them down a little and get this cover. Give me Western Kentucky.
UTEP against Texas, Chris. UTEP stinks. Oh, man, do they stink. 24-14 over Stephen F. Whew.
Yeah, I just don't know. I think you're laying this many points, you're asking for a backdoor cover.
Oh, absolutely. Especially Texas.
This could be a 49-7 game, and with that 43 looming over our heads, I think I'm just going to eat the points with UTEP and just hope to God that we get a backdoor cover.
Oh, do they stink. How about you, Brian?
Going from 42 to 43 here. Normally, this isn't a game I'm running to bet, but I like the Texas Longhorns. It all depends on whether they feel like covering the spread, but I think they're going to cover, beat them by 49 tonight.
God, I've seen those long runs blow Texas covers my whole life. It's like those long backdoor covers, 56-14, right? Lands right on the 42. The 43s get roasted. Rod, what do you think?
For me, I think you take under the number. How much is UTEP going to score? 7, maybe 14 if they get the backdoor cover. I'll take the under.
I'm going to take UTEP. I think 48-14 is the number here. Anyways, we got Kansas up against Coastal Carolina. This line's gone from 3.5 to 6.5 for Les Miles' Jayhawks. Chris, Kansas lost. Didn't they? Their best player transfer out? I don't understand this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I was doing a write up on Coastal Carolina in the offseason. I don't like the direction the Chanticleers are headed. I don't think they're going to make a bowl game this year.
You're lucky you pronounced that name right. You would have got some emails about it.
I know. I had to do my my hooked on phonics at Joe D'Amico. It ended up at my address instead of his, but I'll lay the points with Kansas here. I think Kansas wins this one by a touchdown.
How about you, Brian?
Not my favorite game on the board, but if you can get this at under 7 points, take Kansas. I really think they can handle Coastal Carolina. They don't get many opportunities to win games, so this is one they're going to enjoy, I think.
How about you, Rod?
I agree. Give me Kansas here. I think they can cover and win by a touchdown.
I like Coastal in this one. I think that Les Miles coach teams, if you're willing to lay a full touchdown with a Les Miles coach team, you're a braver man than I am. I've seen him at LSU against the nobodies of the world back into non-covers in ways that are just indescribable. Right?
I hope we had a consensus here, but it didn't happen, Mitch.
No, we're not going to have a consensus. Chris, any of these other added games that you might want to add to your ticket?
The only one I was looking at, I like Texas Tech laying a huge number against Houston Baptist. Texas Tech in their last 4 games against FCS schools won by a combined average margin of 62-9.
Why bother, right? I mean, why bother?
So I'm gonna take Texas Tech and lay the
Baptist
points there.
getting for this one? How much are they making?
41.
How much money are they getting to play?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna guess.
I don't know.
I'm gonna guess in the 500,000 plus range. Brian?
I was gonna say $750,000.
Yeah,
maybe Oklahoma. They're pretty good at beating up cupcakes. Yeah. Maybe they 72-0 over MOSU.
Yep.
Missouri State.
Yep. Some of my earliest childhood college football memories. Barry Switzer getting off the plane. It's like again to play Miami. What's your prediction for this Saturday? What are you looking to do? We're going to lay a 100 on them by halftime and put the scrubs in. What do you think, Rod? Any of these off games that you like on this card?
Yeah, just what Brian said. Give me Oklahoma. I'm going to be ass kicking there.
I think that the Georgia Southern Campbell game could get real ugly too. I just don't know if the Camels have enough to hang with that Georgia Southern run attack. All right, we're going to go to Major League Baseball, man. I just loved college football. That was fun. We're going to have to change the show because it's like we're already an hour in, and we haven't even touched baseball. Got Yankees up against the Orioles. Kramer looked good, but the Orioles looked terrible yesterday. Aiken never even made it out of the first inning for us, and Tanaka all of a sudden looks like a guy that, deserves a paycheck. Chris, what do you think here? Orioles, Yankees, Montgomery's pitching.
Yeah, give me the over 9. I think we see another beat down here.
How about you, Brian?
I'm going to go with the Orioles for a $25 play. Nothing big here, but I can't pass up going against Montgomery. So.
How about you, Rod?
I agree with Chris. Give me the over here. I think we're going to see some runs.
Oakland made Texas look pretty silly yesterday from start to finish in that game. They even let them pretend like they might let them back into the game and then loaded up the bases in the 9th inning on them, and we're ready to do some more pounding. But what do you think here? Texas, Dalton Jeffries. It's like, let's just throw Dalton Jeffries at him. It's like, it's like basically saying, let Mitch pitch. What do you think, Chris?
I like Dalton Jeffries, one of the top 10 prospects in that A's organization. I like Oakland on the run line here. Make Texas look silly again.
Smash him. How about you, Brian?
Oh, possible consensus. Oakland run line. I like them today. I think they take care of business.
Rod?
Oakland run line.
We got a consensus. We got Washington up against Atlanta. Ian Anderson. This guy, I mean, huge expectations. Number 3 overall draft choice, but I don't know. Spread knowledge likes the Nationals. How about you, Chris?
I do not. I like the Braves here. I'm not getting behind Patrick Corbin.
I gave out that over in the best of the live show picks yesterday on that Braves Nationals. I was like, I always try and say, it's like people always say, what's the easiest game out there? It's like, how about the over in the Braves Nationals game? It's like they kicked the extra point in the 9th inning, you know, to go to extras at 14 in the clear. How about you, Brian?
Braves. Braves get it done today.
Rod?
For me, I like the over. I think we're going to see some more runs again.
Spencer Howard's pitching for the Phillies. Speaking of overs, up against Jose Urena. Chris?
I'll take the Marlins here. Just I can't stand that Phillies bullpen.
Yeah, but the Phillies really did a number on the Marlins in the early game yesterday with Nola.
Yeah, sure. They did. But I like Urena to bounce back. I never thought I'd hear myself say that, but I like Urena here.
Yes, it's turned into a comedy show. Brian, what do you think?
I think the Phillies tee off on Urena today. I think they win it easily. I'll take the Phillies.
Spencer Howard's going to hold down the fort, Brian.
I think it's like a 20-15 game Phillies.
What's going to have more points? This one or the Clemson Wake game? That's like, you know, like they have those like inner sport bets, you know, where it's like you can bet like this sport plus this. It's like total points in Clemson this plus the Marlins Phillies game, and you know.
I think Clemson puts
and
up
LeBron.
42. It all depends on what Wake Forest puts up as far as that game goes.
How about Rod is frozen in a very funny spot. We'll come back to him. We got Robbie Ray against Seth Lugo. Boy, that was a lot of runs. Oh, Rod is back. Marlins, Phillies.
Over. Over. We're going to see a lot of runs there today.
All right, we're going to lightning round it from here on in because we're almost at an hour in, and we try and keep it an hour. We're not going to make it, so we'll go an hour and 15 minutes, but we're going to have to go super fast. Robbie Ray versus Seth Lugo, Blue Jays and Mets. It was all Mets yesterday, Chris.
Yeah, Mets. I like the Mets here a lot.
How about you, Brian?
I like the Mets -1.5.
How about you, Rod?
I think you can take the Mets -2.5 or Mets by a touchdown again. Robbie Ray's pitching. Yuck.
Over 10 for me. Got the Rays against the Red Sox. Tyler Glasnow against Nathan Eovaldi in his return home to Tampa. Chris, Tyler Glasnow's become a -230 guy. I'm just not comfortable with that.
Yeah, me either. I'm taking the over here.
Yeah. When did this guy become -230, Brian?
Red Sox here. It's all the values with Boston. I'm going to ride the money line here.
How about you, Rod?
I like the over. I think we're going to easily get over that number today.
Speaking of overs, Michael Fulmer's pitching against Ronaldo Lopez at Guaranteed Rate Field. The White Sox really looked down and out yesterday against Casey Mize, and then Casey started laboring, and of course, as soon as he started laboring, he's out of there. That's what they do in Detroit with Casey. I love that guy. He's like one of my favorites. He's like my Lance Lynn, you know. It's like Lance Lynn. It's like let's just walk the first two batters, or let's put them on second and third with nobody out, and then we'll start the game. But anyways, Michael Fulmer and Ronaldo Lopez. Lopez always gets tagged. It's like 10. So this one went from 10 to 10.5. Fulmer, you never know what you're going to get. He's pitched a little bit better this year than we've seen in recent years, but he's still Michael Fulmer. Chris, over 10.5 for me.
Yeah, me too. I think this one could easily hit 15. This one could rival the Braves and Nationals.
How about you, Brian?
Over 20 today. I'll go higher than you.
How about you, Rod?
We can see here today. Football score.
We got Carlos Hernandez and Trevor Williams in Kansas City. The Pirates no-shows last night. I know Chris is a big Trevor guy. What do you think?
Not today. Give me the Royals. I don't want anything to do with Trevor Williams right now.
How about you, Brian?
I love the Pirates. I don't love I like the Pirates a lot today. I like them a lot. Pirates.
How about you, Rod?
I agree. Give me the Pirates. Kansas City's not going to win 5 in a row.
I love the Royals in this one. I think Hernandez moving to the starting rotation is a great move on their part. Really shores up their starting rotation. You can start to see the Royals, a team that you didn't really see what direction this franchise was going. You're starting to see it. Is that they're building out this pitching staff, that it's not the Danny Duffy, Matt Harvey that we've been sitting through. It's Singer, it's these guys, and this guy is another one. Because we've seen him in relief, very hard to hit, even against the White Sox,
Yeah, I don't know why they bothered sending Matt Harvey out there since they're rebuilding. It made no sense. But.
Well, it's sometimes you need a guy out there just to work a couple innings, to give everybody a rest, and that's what they do. It's kind of like, I love boxing, right? I love boxing, and it's like sometimes you go to the fights and you ask, I know the guys from the Wild Card gym, Freddie Roach's gym, and I sit with them a lot at the fights, and I'm like, why do they have this fight as in this position on the card? And it's one of these fights where it's one of these guys, it's like. Just jab, 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 run, jab. He's like, because he's going to go 12 rounds. And, there's a couple of fights in here that are probably going to be pretty quick. So they need something to fill the time. And it's like, this guy's going to do it, So it probably works pretty cheap, too. But, Matt Harvey probably does these days, too. Anyways, Brett Anderson against Kyle Hendricks. He's been Kyle Hendricks on the road. Brett Anderson is one of those guys that it was like he came into the major with really, really high expectations. Second round pick in 2006, but he's been injured with seemingly his entire career. Chris?
Yeah, I know it's Hendricks on the road, but I'm still going to take the Cubs here. I like Hendricks on the road more than I like Anderson, period.
You're a foolish man. Brian?
I think the Brewers are one of the best bets on the board today. I think it's one of those games that you might have missed because of football. Take the Brewers.
I like the Brewers today, too.
They got these people at the Wake Forest game eating ribs with masks on. It doesn't even make sense to me on TV.
How the hell do you eat ribs with a mask?
Got an extra napkin? Sure. Got one of these.
I think when you eat food, you're allowed to take it off. So
speaking of food, today is my wife's birthday, so I get to make my homemade pizza. We used to live in Kentucky many years ago, and Kentucky pizza might be the worst thing in the face of the planet. So I learned how to make my own pizza, the dough, the sauce, like everything. And it's like, so I do the homemade pizza. It's like my wife, whatever she wants, her birthday. So it's like, of course, like, what does my wife want for her birthday? The new Dyson 11 vacuum. It's like, you could have got that anytime you wanted. It's like, my wife, it's like, you want a new vacuum? You go ahead and have it. It's like, and then she comes home from Costco and she's like, I got this cracker. And it's like, you eat it and it's like, this tastes funny. She's like, it's 100% plant-based. I'm like, the first thing that goes through my head, I'm like, I got to tell the pug dogs this, about the cracker, because I'm like, the first thing someone says, this thing's 100% plant-based, it's like, this thing's going to rip. This thing's going to.
Uh-oh.
This thing's going to rip apart my system like no one's business.
For anyone who's watching right now, whenever we have a Dallas Stars video, this is what happens.
This is what happens, yeah.
Oh, man.
And you wonder why Mitch says it takes us an hour to crank out the video. One little straw, like one little piece of straw that breaks, the levee breaks.
It's like I'm eating the
cracker.
Yeah,
you eat one of them plant-based crackers and see what happens to you, too.
I had a black cheeseburger. That's not a.
It's like, it's 100% plant-based. It's like, it's going to be a long day, man.
Do I have something to dip in it at least?
Oh, man. We got,
dip. I'd like some dip.
You don't want spinach dip with one of those things. We got Texas
What?
again.
The dog won't even eat it.
Yeah, don't subject poor Sam to those plant-based
Oh
crackers.
man, it's we got Colby Allard up against Chris Bassett in Arlington for game. Oh, I guess it's in Oakland. It's what is it? Where is this? It's in Arlington.
No,
Arlington.
In Arlington.
Yes.
Yeah,
Game
it's a
2
Globe
of the
Life.
doubleheader. Wow.
Colby Allard is the plant-based cracker of that Texas rotation. I'm going Oakland run line all day.
How about you, Brian?
Oakland run line, and I'd parlay both those Oakland games together. Why not?
Brian
I think they win both.
Brian doesn't share our love for plant-based foods here. Rod.
Oakland run line again. Yeah.
I'm like, I got it. It's like my wife's like, it's totally plant-based. It's like, I gotta tell Ruffalo about this.
So I know what crackers to avoid at the store.
Yeah. Next time I see Costco, avoid the plant-based.
It's like you realize what that does.
Picks up a cracker, sees the sports section.
Oh man, we got the Minnesota Twins against the Cleveland Indians. Rich Hill against Zach Plesac. I'm sure I'm going to get some pretty odd comments now coming in, but Zach Plesac against Rich Hill. Who do you like, Chris?
I like the under here. I think we see a pitcher's duel.
How about you, Brian?
I'm warming up to Rich Hill. Give me the Twins here at this decent price at home.
How about you, Rod?
I'll take the Indians here. Rich Hill's win one, lose one, win one, lose one. He was good last time, so he's due to be a bad game here.
Yeah, it's a Rich Hill is always a 5-inning guy. I just can't stand those guys. Got Plesac's no good either, though. I mean, the total set at 8. I like the over in this thing. The dropping total. Oh, Arias' pitch, and he's the plant-based cracker of the Dodgers rotation. Even Tony T is like, he's like, the Dodgers starting to clear out some of these pitchers that were supposed to be good. He's like, maybe Arias could be next. Tony's always all over the pulse of the West Coast sports scene, and he's in my camp with Urias, where it's like at a certain point, you got to say he's not going to be Fernando. It's like, his nature is a choice cracker, flatbread. It's like, wow, this has a weird taste to it. Oh, it's 100% plant based. It's like this has. It's like, what is that? It's like, good thing I didn't put the hummus on it.
Give me the over. I think Urias and Valdez both get torched here.
How about you, Brian?
I think the Astros might be the best dog on the board. Give me Houston here.
I like Houston today. Give me Houston.
Your picks murder my pockets. My free picks were not good yesterday. My premium picks were 3-1. So sometimes it goes, it goes both ways. Some days it's like all my free picks hit, none of my premiums hit. Sometimes they all hit, sometimes they all lose. But yesterday was one of those days where I know my free picks were not good, but my premium picks were spot on. I had Celtics, I had Nuggets, and Oakland run line. So it's all good. I like the Astros in this one. I like Valdez. I think he's the better option. Justice Sheffield and Zach Gallen. Got to pay up big for Zach Gallen. He's pitched pretty well, but he looked confused last time. I don't like when pitchers look confused, and he looked really confused against the Giants when the Giants started pecking away at him. I don't know, man. Diamondbacks stink. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I like the under here. I think Arizona continues to struggle offensively, and Zach Allen will pitch another gem. So give me the under here.
How about you, Rod? Oh, I skipped Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
That's all right. You can skip me. Mariners plus money today, worth a shot. Sheffield.
I'm with you. How about you, Rod?
I'll take Arizona here today. Zach Allen bounces back, and it was the first time in his 23 starts that he gave up 4 runs last game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle. Arizona's the plant-based cracker of the major leagues. We got speaking of plant-based crackers, Barria's pitching up against Kyle Freeland. You know what? I had the Angels yesterday. I'm gonna go with them again. Even with Barria, not Barria, and Kyle Freeland pitching at home goes against all logic. Chris?
Yeah, it does defy all logic. That's why I'm going with the Rockies here.
How about you, Brian?
Rockies. Can't take the Angels.
Oh.
Rod? Not Berea.
Not Berea. I'll take the under. The pitchers do it today.
Not Berea. No way. Please don't throw Berea at us. Just for that, it will be Berea. Dakota Hudson up against TJ Antone. Final baseball game of the night with the postponement in San Diego. Hudson's pitched pretty well, but the Cardinals just look lifeless. Castillo looked like he looked unbelievable last night. I mean, that was the best Castillo performance I've seen in a long time. I sat through and watched that thing. Oh, my God. It was nothing fun about it. I had the Cardinals in that one. That was my one loss yesterday. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot with the Reds here. I know Dakota Hudson's not our favorite pitcher in that Cardinals rotation, and TJ Antone's actually pitched pretty well. So give me the Reds.
All right, we go to the NHL. We got hockey. We got the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. We didn't do a video on this because, I don't know, we just dropped the ball, I think is what happened. Bad timing and bad everything else, but that's okay. We're here now. We got 670-something people watching with us. What do you guys think? Chris?
I think the value continues to be on Dallas here, right or wrong. They've been playing the better hockey in the bulk of the series so far, so give me Dallas and the plus money.
How about you, Rod?
For me in this one, we've seen the overhit how many? All of these first 3 games? Under. I think we're going to get an over. I think we're going to get some goals today. You get some nice plus value on the over 5.5. Give me the over 5.5 today.
The L word has entered the building here. Kevin Mueller has put down his lock of the week, so maybe there is some hope for my Duke money line bet.
What is it?
Is Notre Dame.
Okay, give me Duke.
Yeah, I got Duke. I have Duke money line already. I already said that. Brian, any opinion here on this hockey matchup?
I tell you what, I had Dallas Stars and yesterday the Islanders, but you know what? I'm going to take the juice. Vegas gets it done here.
We got also an App State lock going on. So another team that I have the money line against.
Come on, Charlotte.
It's another. I mean, my 2 money lines, big dogs. Maybe I should put a little on UTEP. I don't even think they're taking action on that. Oh man. Mitch, we need to keep the show moving. We're making homemade pizza. Yeah, that's pretty much how this show goes. The consensus on the A's was game 1. Plant-based crackers, man. That was. I was like, second she said that, after I said, after I think myself, you can't eat that. I mean, the second thing, I'm like, I'm gonna run this by Ruffalo and see where this fits in the grand scheme.
No. I'm trying to figure out when your stomach dropped harder, after you ate the cracker or when she said plant-based.
I was like, wow, this tastes different. Yeah, it's 100% plant-based. Like, oh no. Oh, man. Anyways, parlay segment of the show. Chris, you got a parlay for us? Unless anyone got any UFC leans?
I hadn't even had a chance to look at the card, to be honest.
Rod, any leans on the UFC, Brian?
Nope.
All right.
I haven't even had a chance to look at the card. We got
All right, so
other real sports
we'll
going
post.
right now.
We'll have UFC in the Facebook group.
Yeah, I'll put something in there in a bit.
For parlay, let's go with Georgia Tech in the points, UTSA in the points, and the under in the Clemson Wake Forest game.
Rod?
For me, let's go the Indians, the Oakland run line game 1, and Philly and the Marlins over.
And Brian? Brian looks like he's ready to go to sleep.
A 4-game parlay here, and I really like it. 2 of these 4 plays are premium plays. UTSA plus the points, Charlotte plus the points, Brewers and the Rockets plus the points.
I'm going to go Charlotte plus the points, Duke plus the points, and UTEP plus the points. That'll be my parlay for today. Throwing a little UTSA in that as well. Everyone, thanks for joining us. It's been a fun show. I really enjoyed it. Tomorrow, NFL Sunday. Going to probably be another show that runs a little bit longer, but with the 1 o'clock Eastern time starts, we won't be that as close to kickoff as we are today. Really enjoyed it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. You guys know I love college football Saturday, and, of course, we're going to try and act more professional tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.